The word of today, kids? Promise. The second episode, titled International Police Chase After Them, begins right where the first one left off. The Patrangers arrive on the battle scene where the Lupinrangers were about to win, but it then becomes a three-way struggle between the two teams and the Ganglier. The Ganglier gets pinned down and is about to be taken out by Asaka, but is interrupted by Kari telling him to wait because they hadn't stolen back the Lupin treasure yet. Unfortunately, the jewel thief Gangler, whose name is Garat, by the way, uses this opportunity to escape. Both teams blame each other, and it then turns into a chase through the city as the Lupinrangers try to fly away in their dial fighters, with the Patrangers revealing their own mechs called trigger machines. Despite a pretty close chase, the Lupinrangers escape and return to their restaurant to regroup. Yes, the three of them run a restaurant as a cover. The Lupinrangers are both confused and upset about what happened out there. Well, except for Yumika, Lupin Yellow, who I can now identify as the carefree optimistic of the group. She finds it actually kinda cool that the cops and thieves are using the same tools, and says as long as they get the Lupin treasure, it doesn't matter who destroys the Ganglier, to the anger and disagreement of the other two. Kitty then returns to the building where they were fighting the Ganglier to look for clues about where he might appear next, but it's too crowded to look around. However, just as he's about to leave, he overhears Asaka promising the people who lost their home and shop in that struggle that he will take down the Ganglier for them. Hearing the word promise seems to get to Katie. It then flashbacks 1 year ago, and now we learn what the wish the Lupinrangers are fighting for is. Turns out, all of them had lost a friend or loved one from a Ganglier attack, and were then approached by Garato, the old man who gives them their targets, saying that if they help reclaim the Lupin collection, that they can have any wish, even bringing back someone to life. Oh yeah, we're pulling a Dragon Ball here. The Lupinrangers have all wandered back to where these events took place, but this sentimental and depressing moment is cut short as the Ganglier reappears and attacks the city. This time, the Lupinrangers don't waste any time. They immediately transform and steal the treasure. Shortly after that, the Patrangers show up, and yet another three-way struggle breaks out. But this time, Lupin Red gives the order to retreat, basically showing pity on Asaka and allowing them to defeat the Ganglier in order to keep his promise. Patrangers are confused, but Asaka goes along with it and decides to ignore them, prioritizing the Ganglier. We now get to see the Patrangers' weapons, which have a baton mode and a megaphone mode, very police-like. Just before it ends, Sakuya reveals yet another Lupin collection item they have, a device that lets them fuse. Now, even though this was kinda spoiled for me, I still lost it when I saw this form. They quickly defeat the Ganglier in their powered-up form, and all seems well when it hits them that they're now sharing a body and start panicking, which the Lupinrangers, as well as myself, get a good chuckle out of. Oh gosh. However, the Ganglier boss orders a second chance, and we've reached the Monster Grow trope, as one of his assistants places a new treasure item in him that allows him to be reborn and grow taller. The Lupinrangers then call their dial fighters and begin pursuit when the Patranger's new device comes to life and flies off to join them. Its name is revealed as Good Striker, and it allows them to combine their mechs to Lupin Kaiser. Yep, Megazord time. Good Striker then appears alongside the others in the cockpit, and what can I say? I love puppets, so I'm just gonna enjoy this character. Now I'm just gonna say, I am not thrilled that these battles have moved to becoming mostly CG, as the suit actors were always quite an impressive thing to watch. But it's still a pretty cool fight, even though the Lupinrangers easily win, and bid the Ganglier an eternal adieu. Oh yeah, they're using those phrases. Patrangers, who were watching from the sidelines, decide that even though they lost the Thunder, one less Ganglier in the world is still a victory for them. The Lupinrangers return to their restaurant and seem quite happy with the way things turned out, as they got to destroy the monster in the end after all. But the Patrangers then abruptly walk in, tensions build, Katie wonders if their identities have been discovered, thus the episode ends. This episode was a lot of fun. Reminds me why I like these shows. I'm really enjoying the no-nonsense formula this season is doing, and it is really making you want to keep watching with these endings. Good suspension. Well, that's it for my review here. I can tell now that just like the word imagination in Tokyujers and brave in Kyoryujers, Promise is gonna be a reoccurring theme in this season, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, so until we get to episode 3, y'all take it easy. I'll see you then. Peace out.